the drones monitoring the NZYQ cohort. The Minister for Immigration has said he made his comments based on departmental advice. So on what date and in what form did the department tell the Minister that drones were monitoring released detainees?
So, Senator, around the 20th of May, there was a conversation between one of my officers and Minister Giles' office where the discussion was around strengthened monitoring of the BVR cohort, and the officer was under the mistaken belief that a drone had been used for operational planning purposes in relation to that case management, but that was incorrect. As soon as we discovered the error, we advised the Minister.
Does Home Affairs or ABF currently operate any drones?
So I'll let the ABF answer on their behalf.
No, Senator, the ABF doesn't currently operate any drones.
Because they've been grounded because they were DGI drones and they're not in use for
That's
good
correct.
reason. Yeah. So the department doesn't have any either.
The department has no drones, Senator,
No,
but there is...
I'll just clarify, we are in the process of, or we have procured some new drones, not the technology that you've just referred to, but they are not deployed yet, and they are subject to a whole range of internal planning and governance arrangements before they're deployed.
That's welcome. Secretary, the mind boggles how someone could imagine that a drone is being operated when the department and ABF don't have any operational drones. But even if they initially made that mistake, why did for 3 days the government continue to say that the Minister's statement was correct? Why wasn't that very quickly clarified?
So, Senator, I'll let Acting Commissioner assist on the operational side, but we operate Operation Aegis in conjunction with state and territory colleagues, and so it was not a simple matter of saying the ABF is not operating drones. There was further checking that I needed to do.
Right. Minister, you were in the invidious position of having to go on Insiders on Sunday after the Minister for Immigration made this statement, I think, on a Thursday, and you gave a version of a defence and a modified version of defence. When you said it, you explained how drones had been used. It's not your portfolio. You were obviously acting on advice. I'm not trying to kind of trip you up here. But who told you 4 days after the initial claim or 3 days after the initial claim was made that drones are being operated?
I got a briefing from the Minister's office ahead of doing the Insiders program, as I did from a number of different ministers' offices about issues that might come up on the program.
Yeah. So they still didn't know on the Sunday that drones weren't being operated? Because on the Monday there was an acknowledgement that that was not the case.
Well, I acted on the information that I was provided, and the Minister clarified his statement. I mean, my understanding is that after the Minister's initial statement on Sky News, which I think was possibly the Thursday of that week,
was, yeah.
And Ms Foster has indicated this as well, the advice that the Minister had been provided went through a process of refinement, if you like. Further information was obtained, the advice was refined, and the Minister made that clarifying statement once full information was available. That's my understanding of what occurred.
And look, we'll have to comment on other colleagues' portfolios from time to time. We'll have to rely on the advice that we get in their portfolios. I'm not singling you out here, but you had a modified version of the explanation. The Minister said on Thursday we're using it to monitor detainees. You clarified it wasn't used to monitor detainees, it was used to kind of scope out their accommodation, or I think it was how far away they are from schools and other things like that. So obviously some sort of investigation or clarification had taken place, but it was still the wrong information. How does it take 4 days to still be providing the wrong information to a minister fronting the media about this?
Well, I think both Ms Foster and I have set out the process of what occurred.
Right. Okay. Just a final question to you, Minister. There's a lot of speculation in this building about a reshuffle over the winter break. Your name is often listed.
Relevant to estimates, Senator Patterson. I don't know how that's relevant to estimates. Are you smiling because Senator Patterson is taking...
I was expecting the question.
Chair, I am sure the Minister is capable of answering this question. I'm sure that he is.
But it's not relevant to estimates, and you know that.
No,
we're not trying to speculate on your future here at estimates either. But that's not relevant.
If you'd like to, knock yourself out. But
I'm sure.
Minister,
I'm sure the Minister will have an appropriate answer. But I'm just
Exactly.
pointing
So
out that you're choosing to
opportunity.
use your last remaining moments
I
of
am.
this estimates hearing to ask an irrelevant question.
I don't think the Minister needs your protection, Chair. He's
I'm not trying to
perfectly
protect the
capable of protecting
Minister. He definitely doesn't need my protection. I'm just trying to point out how inappropriate it is for you to use the
Thanks, Chair.
estimates to
Minister-
prosecute some sort of commentary about...
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Ms Foster has a point she wants to clarify from earlier evidence.
A relevant point, I'm guessing.
On a different matter.
Okay.
So please.
All right, so I'll finish this matter then. So, Minister, if you are successful in being promoted to be the Minister of Home Affairs, which would be a great honour, would you do anything differently to your predecessor?
I, first of all, love my current job as the Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries, Forestry and Emergency Management. Second of all, I think that both Minister Giles and Minister O'Neill have done an exceptional job in very difficult circumstances, having inherited a broken migration system and an appalling mess of a visa system that was administered by Mr Dutton and your government. So the only speculation I keep reading about in the paper seems to be being fed by journalists, opposition members and people who haven't got very much to do. We've all got a lot to do a good job for this government and for the
Find out
people
if
of
the
Australia.
PM agrees with your assessment of their
I
performance
think I
very
was
soon.
protecting you there, Senator Patterson. Senator Secretary, did you want to